Hey, what's up everybody? This is Jay from C.P.R. X-treme. Well, I hope some of you were able to join me tonight on Cinco de Mayo. But anyhow, tonight we're doing something new, something different that not pretty much no groups do out there. Fall off chairs in public on camera. Oh, that's awesome. That's not even scripted. But anyhow, what we're doing, holy shit, that's funny. What we're doing is, people usually get these ghost box and they'll go in a haunted house, and what they do is it's a live session with the spirit. So if you ask it a question, it's answering to you live, whether it's using a database of recorded words, or sometimes it's scanning AM or FM stations, or on the case what we got here, it's from Huff Paranormal. It's called the SCD2. Pretty much what it does is it scans the internet radio waves and it brings in the reception. Now, as you're doing an EVP session with something like this, if something talks to you, it's going to come through and answer you directly, and usually with its own type of voice. It bleeds over differently. If you hear it, you'll know you hear it. It's hard to explain until you do hear it. What we're doing tonight, though, is a ring. This one right here. This ring belonged to a woman that she was pretty sadistic. Her name was Mona Fande. She's from Malaysia, and throughout her life she dabbled in, not just dabbled, but lived her life by witchcraft, dark magic, dark voodoo, necromancy, and everything else in between that you can figure out that might be negative. Even if it was something positive, she turned it into a negative type magic, and that's how she lived her life. As she grew up, she stayed within this dark magic, but kind of quietly. And as she grew into her later years, she became a pop star in Malaysia, and pretty well known there. United States, you didn't hear of her much until she did what she did. So she became this huge pop star and got married, and also became a shaman type priestess. So her local government would come to her and have her make talismans and all kinds of stuff like that that they would wear with her spells put on it to make their power even stronger or gain more financially. Some wanted more beautiful women around them. Whatever it may be, she would use her dark magic and give them these talismans. And their government really believed in what she did. So there was one particular man, which I have my little notes here. His name was Mazlan Idis. He was some kind of congressman there or something like that. But anyhow, once again, he wanted more money and he wanted women to find him more attractive. So Mona said, I can help you with that problem. So she invited this man over to her house, saying she's going to do the ceremony. Mona's husband of the time was inside with her along with another accomplice. So they had this man laying on the floor, and they put a blindfold type thing over him and tied his hands down, etc. like that. And she was saying her hocus pocus words, for lack of better words, and she said, very shortly, the money is going to start falling out of the sky on top of you, which made this man very happy. But what truly fell out of the sky was the husband wielding an axe and decapitating this government official. They decided not to stop there. Mona found great pleasure in this kind of stuff. So the three ended up skinning the body and then chopping it into 18 different pieces, small pieces, and buried the remains very near to Mona's home, where the police ultimately found it and connected Mona her husband and the other assailant to the murder. We all know what happens there. She goes to the clink along with the husband and the other accomplice, which I'm sorry, I forget his name. But anyhow, this was in the late 80s into the 90s, if I remember right. So she goes to jail. It was pretty much a quick trial. Of course, found guilty. And they decided to hang the three of them. As they're in the gallows, the noose around the neck, Mona says something in her native tongue, which turns out what she said is, with a smile on her face, "I can never die." And they dropped her body there. So we'll stop it at that point. But however, when Mona was younger, in her teens, younger teens, approximately 16, she was in rituals with different witch doctors, let's say, to gain her strength within her dark magics, within the voodoo, within the necromancy, all kinds of things. She got involved in as much as she can. Well, this ring, at the time, was on Mona's hand. This ring is where the horror started. Pretty much, when she had this on her hand, the witch doctor that was having her graduate into this dark art ended up making this ring into a lacroix. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right because there's like 2 or 3 different ways to say it and spell it. So I'll just say lacroix. What that is she ended up having a stillborn baby that was of this witch doctor that was helping her along with all her dark magic. He raped her and molested her, got her pregnant, the baby was stillborn. In the lacroix, they believed they took the soul, the pure soul, out of the infant and put it into this ring. And then pretty much she has the power of this pure soul to turn around and use it for different kind of evils. Just completely energizes her. So that's where that goes with that part of the ring. It was said that the witch doctor ended up taking this ring and he wore it for a while, did other things with it, etc. But ultimately it was her ring. It changed hands over time after it came off her finger. And I gotta interrupt for a second. If you're hearing any weird noises, it's guinea pigs. It's not demons, just so you know. But anyhow, back to the story. So this ring exchanged hands, da-da-da-da. Ultimately, I gotta get, so we can get to this. Ultimately, it ended up on the cursed altar of Marie Glapian Baptiste, which she is the granddaughter of the voodoo queen herself, Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau, biggest voodoo queen over here in the States in Louisiana. I'm sure you all heard of her. Marie Glapian, her granddaughter, was also a voodoo priestess of high power and highly respected. They say she lived to be over 100 years old. Nobody even knows how old she was while she died. Well, she lived here, her mansion was here in Florida. She had many different voodoo altars, but in her home she had the cursed voodoo altar, which she had this ring sat upon. Near that was her journal. In her journal, it has said about that ring, I gotta refer back to my notes, that there is a spirit of one angry boy locked in this ring. So, this ring goes 3 different directions, for the most part. It's got the spirit of a lacroix in here, a stillborn child that is very angry. It has Mona's spirit connected to it, and a Laveau spirit connected to it. Anybody that, it's been recorded when we won this ring through auctions, and we got the paperwork from attorneys from the estate, that anybody that owned this ring has reported nothing but hauntings around it and curses connected to it. We've owned it for quite a while now, and we've had Lots of things happen around it. One major one is there was a skeleton sitting next to it, a Halloween skeleton in a wheelchair, and it would move in front of our eyes. We re-recorded it. We have the footage where its head moves pretty quickly too. And it's stiff. It click, 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 so it wasn't loose. So things move around it, voices, walking. We heard all kinds of things around this. So pretty much what we're trying to do is, which no crew really does, is using a system like this to see if something from this can talk. Now keep in mind that this system uses internet waves, radio, talking, this and that. So you might hear a blurb of music, a blurb of this, or a blurb of that. If something comes through during our EVP session, you'll pretty much be able to distinguish that. Once again, that's the guinea pigs you hear, not the demons. So if you have any legitimate questions, or you think you got a good question to ask during this, run it past us and we'll see if we can get to it. So let's give this SCD2 a try and see what happens.
I can always get a price of 15 or 18,000. But if you want right now.
Mona, are you here with us? We're trying to contact Mona Fanday. It said, how can I function? Speak as loud as you can, Mona. If you're here with us, give us a sign. Take all your energy you have inside and yell as loud as Yell as loud as you can if you're here with us, Mona. Say your name. That was kind of weird. If that was you, say it one more time as loud as you can.
And all that stuff they got laid. Anyone? But the Illuminati. Yeah, sure. Huh? What do you mean by that? Just stick around.
Is there a boy connected to this ring? Is there a spirit of a child connected to this ring?
Better guess something.
Who am I speaking with?
$1 and the blue.
Who am I speaking with?
What?
Is Mona Fanday here?
Wait, it just paused itself just now.
Can you restart it?
This is what it did.
Go back here. Go live. We don't know what happened there. Technical difficulties. I don't know. But is Mona Fanday with here? If you're here with us, give us a sign other than turning off our cameras. Is there a Laveau connected to this ring? That was a different one. Is there a Marie Laveau connected to this ring? Is there a Marie Galapian Baptiste? Lacroix. That was cool. You're right, this is the Lacroix. Can you move it? I can't believe it's a Lacroix. Okay, that was creepy. Pigs, not demons. Is the child of the Lacroix here with us? Is the child Lacroix
Is it me, Ron?
connected to this ring here with us?
What do you think makes it?
Give me a sign of you being here, like pounding on something or knocking on something.
You didn't mind God yourself?
Sounded like make the bodies rise up.
That's not fine.
Hey Willis, if you're out there, you catching this stuff, man?
Treat on God.
I'm dying. That's what it said. Is the child of the Lacroix here with us? Say yes if he is.
This is the elder.
This is the elder. What is your name?
Let's figure out what I'm doing.
You figure out what I'm doing. What is your name?
And I was telling him,
Give me a sign you're here. Blow out one of the candles, except for that one. It's almost dead. Blow out one of these two candles. Or knock on something.
you see that yourself.
You do that yourself. Is Mona Fanday here with us? Yes or no?
Both of them quiet.
You both know who I am.
I also
Is Mona Fanday in this room with us? Or the child with the Lacroix? Say yes if somebody's here with us.
I'm not joking. Robert Keith Wallace Smith.
Is there anybody else in this room with us? Do you have a message you'd like to say to us?
Right. Elder.
Would you be offended if I threw this ring in the garbage?
So I know you did it.
I don't even know where to begin.
I might as well get moving, man.
Is Laveau here with us?
So, lesson.
It's all a lesson. Give me a sign you're here. Knock on something like this. Can you give me 2 knocks like this?
Well, Ron.
That was a weird one. Make the Lacroix move. Make the ring move. Any of you got any questions out there you want me to ask it?
Oh. He says it.
Well, pretty much. That's about what we got. As you can see, we've been having a 0.1 between a 0.5 on the EMF machine. It's hard to see that one. So, the wolf. Well, here, let me pause this for a minute. So it has responded. What's the odds of something saying the Lacroix, what this is? You can check into the SCD2. It's an app. It's fairly cheap and very, very respected. The man, Steve Huff, that created it is pretty much the founder on this kind of equipment, and it's a breakthrough in paranormal technology. C.P.R. X-treme highly gets behind it and will continue to use it and buy more of his equipment for our investigations. We will investigate the LaCroix more. It's a very, very careful piece. It just can't, you know, be tossed around to anybody or any place. Very respected, and we gotta check into it more. But other than that, we got big things coming up. We got our Bigfoot hunts. We have a report of a sea creature we're working on to go find it deep in the woods into a lost river. We got some paranormal investigations we're looking to set up, a murder house that DJ and his wife told us about. We're working on a couple different things. We're rebuilding C.P.R. and C.P.R. X-treme. We have Will Lill in Chicago heading C.P.R. You got me, Jay, here with Jocelyn with C.P.R. X-treme. Looking to bring in some more people potentially, and we shall talk to you all soon. Until then, this is Jay of C.P.R. X-treme. Peace.